Welcome to the September manga haul. You'll see a lot of new series here, but we're going to start off with the series that you will be familiar with. I finally got the last volume to Boarding School Juliet, a manga series that unexpectedly became one of my favorite romantic comedies. It's a simple story about two high school students named Romeo and Juliet who are in a secret relationship at a boarding school. This series does a great job of developing their relationship and creates two main characters that you want to root for. Everyone at the school and the world are against their relationship because they are of opposing races in the manga, but slowly throughout the series you'll find Romeo and Juliet try to change the world and prove that their love is not wrong. This series is complete at 16 volumes and I honestly loved every single volume of it. The author does a great job of developing a fun supporting cast that makes every chapter a joy to read. I thought the author ended the series very nicely and tied up most, if not all, the loose ends. The pacing of the story was great, and at no point in the series did I feel like the series was dragging on, and I enjoyed the slice of life chapters as well as the more serious arcs. Overall, I would give Boarding School Juliet an 8.5 out of 10 and highly recommend this series to any fans of romance. Next, I got the box set for Tokyo Ghoul Re, and to be honest guys, I didn't really enjoy this one. I read the first few volumes of this and I honestly just got bored, and when a series isn't fun for me to read, I just dropped it rather than trying to make it all the way to the end. Tokyo Ghoul Re is the sequel for Tokyo Ghoul, which I really enjoyed, but Tokyo Ghoul ends on a cliffhanger with tons of unanswered questions. Tokyo Ghoul Re picks up where Tokyo Ghoul left off and introduces a whole new cast of characters, but to be honest, I wasn't really interested in them. To me, it felt like the author was repeating a lot of the first series where every character has a dark past that explains their questionable actions, so you don't really know if this person is necessarily a hero or a villain. I believe my lack of interest in the series was probably my expectations of what I wanted to see was just not there. Rather than introduce a whole new cast of characters, I wanted to mainly see the old ones, and I wanted the old mysteries to be revealed rather than hidden even longer. I felt like the author could have just added a few more volumes to Tokyo Ghoul and end that series with all the mystery, and then create a whole new series, Tokyo Ghoul Re, with new characters and new plot lines. I feel like that would have been better and more enjoyable in my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion, and if you really love Tokyo Ghoul, I still recommend you read Tokyo Ghoul Re to continue the story because it does have a lot of similarities. Next, I got volume 10 of Dead Demons, Dedededestruction, a really interesting and dark story about a group of high school girls who live in a world where an alien spaceship is parked right above Japan. The spaceship and aliens inside are not harming humans, but humanity claims it as a threat, and the story dives into a political comedy of sorts where you see countries argue about what is the right thing to do while pouring money into military to take care of a problem that stems from an overreaction. The group of girls see the alien ship as another normal part of their day, just like we may see rain causing small problems in our day. That's the best part about this series, is that at its core it's a slice of life story that deals with the problems you may face when you're younger, not knowing what you're going to do with your future while everyone's trying to tell you to do one thing or another, your friends all taking different paths in lives, and there's even an aspect of unrequited love. The supernatural element of aliens does add an interesting twist, and if you're a fan of the author's past works such as Goodnight Poon Poon and Solodin, this is easily a must read for you. Next, I finally got volume 1 of Vagabond, and I'm sorry, last video I was saying Vagabond, which a lot of you guys were correcting me. Don't worry, I won't be making this same mistake in this video. I got the second volume of Vagabond a while ago, but now that I finally have the first one, I'm finally able to begin reading the series, and let me tell you guys, I really like this manga. If you see my past haul, you'll know I'm not the biggest fan of shonen manga, but this one I really enjoy. The story follows a young 17-year-old boy who set out on a journey of becoming the one invincible under the heavens, or simply put, the strongest man on the planet. He has a rough style of fighting with the samurai sword that is unlike any other because instead of training under a master, he trained alone in the wilderness. These two big volumes contain the first 6 volumes of Vagabond and introduce 2 strong fighters for him to fight and overcome. What I like about this series is that it definitely is very grounded, where even in a losing situation, the main character doesn't gain some hidden power that allows him to beat all of his opponents. It's quite the opposite, where we are watching our main character grow as a person and a fighter as he wins and loses multiple fights. This makes the story much more engaging to read because you don't know if he'll win just because he's the main character. I recommend Vagabond to anyone who's interested in a great action manga with lots of fun characters. The last manga series I got is 5 deluxe editions of Berserk, which I have been loving. Each of these editions have 3 volumes of the manga series Berserk, which follows Guts, who's out for revenge against a person who's taken away everything important to him. Guts is armed with a massive sword and monstrous strength on a bleak journey that requires him to fight demons every night until he's able to seek his revenge. This story is dark, full of action, and filled with morally questionable actions from every character. The characters in this are all extremely well written, where you can completely empathize with the actions of the quote-unquote villains of the story. The first part of the story shows Guts as an adult and part of his journey for revenge, but then it goes into what some claim as the best arc in the series, which is known as the Golden Age arc of Berserk. This arc brings a lot of character development and shows the past and upbringing of Guts as a child where he's forced to fight in wars, after he finds a mercenary group led by a man who will end up changing his entire life. The author of this story has unfortunately passed away, which also means the series will not be given the proper ending it deserves. Berserk is known as one of the best manga series of all time, and in memory of him, I wanted to see his last work, and I believe it lived up to all of my expectations. If you're looking for a dark series with a very well written character, you have to give Berserk a shot. Thank you for watching this month's manga video. I'm actually planning on reshelving a couple of my manga series just because I just bought Berserk and it doesn't really fit, so I'm going to reshelve it in a certain way. So I'll make a video about that. Until then, I might see you in that video or the new manga haul video next month. See you then.